Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vol. And in this video we're having a look at how we can project edges in Blender and find where they're going to intersect. So this was a request from a Patreon, and we had a shape that was a little bit like this, and they wanted to project the edges so that they could find the meeting point, basically restoring this corner. Now they specifically asked to not have anything involving things like transform points and stuff like that, but I want to cover this and do it in every single way possible, and we're going to have a look at how we can make this gradually trickier. So what I'm going to do is we've got one version of this here, but importantly it's currently got its axes, or well the main edges, on the global axes that we can see in green and red. What I'm going to do is Shift and D and make another copy of this, and we're going to rotate this on the Z axis so that we don't have those edges lining up with the global axes. And then I'm actually going to make it even harder still by bringing another one out, and we're going to press Ctrl and A and apply the rotation, which makes this a lot harder. So what we're going to do is have a look at how we can solve this in these different situations, so whichever one applies to you and your project, you can go for whichever one you need. Now, just to be clear about this, some of the methods that I'm going to cover here, I would actually recommend as the best methods. It's just that I want to show they're best, but they also work in the most difficult of circumstances. So don't think that this is necessarily the easiest way to do it. What I'm just going to do is Shift and D, and then we'll Y, and I'm going to make a duplicate of this, and then Shift and R, because there are basically three ways I can think of solving this. And then we'll do the same for these other options as well. And in actual fact, there's quite a few over here. Now, inevitably, because there's 1,000,001 ways to do things in Blender, I'm probably going to miss something out. So if I do, please say so in the comment section. And if you think there's especially a better way of doing this, definitely comment in the comment section, because that's really helpful. So we'll start with this one. And what I'm going to do is tab into vertex mode, and this is probably the dirtiest way of doing this. So what I'm going to do is press G and then Y to lock this to the Y axis and just move this along a bit. And then this one, G and then X, and move this in the X axis. And again, we've got them basically now overlapping, but we don't have a vertex at this point. Well, what we can do is just hit A to select everything. And then I'm going to come up here to my auto merge vertices, turn that on, click here, and turn on split edges and faces. Now what this is going to allow me to do is press G, which in theory starts moving it, but we're not going to move it anywhere. Hit enter, and then you'll notice that this vert has suddenly appeared. And now that's going to give me this central point, so I can click, shift click, M, and then merge at last, and we've got these all perfectly on top of each other. So that's fixed that issue. I'm going to turn that snapping off. Right. Other methods, which are probably a little bit less dirty. So what I'm going to do for this one is just G and then hit Y, so we're now locking to the Y axis, and if I hold down Control, it will snap it to this vertex. Now, before I do that, this is limited by what we have as our snap targets. At the moment I have a mix of things. I always have it on vertex, edge and face. The important one for this is vertex. If we had something like face, and we said G and then Y, and then hold down Control, it will sort of go to the right place, but it's working off this face, and you can sometimes get errors from this. So bear in mind, when you snap to a vertex, it's best to make sure vertex is on. You can do that by holding shift and clicking multiple things, or just vertex, and then just G, Y, hold down Control and it will snap to there, and then click shift, click M, and then at last. We can also do a similar thing with snap base. It's basically exactly the same, but just changing the order. So I'm just going to press G to start moving this, B to activate snap base and say I'm looking at this vertex, click, and then Y, it locks to the Y axis, and then I select that there without holding down Control. Again, same ending, click, shift, click, M, and then merge at last. So that will work, and you'll notice for all of them, we used the global Y axis and X axis potentially to deal with this. Right, now this one has been rotated, so we're going to have a slight issue here. Let's just shift and D and then Y that across, in that we're not going to be able to use the global Y-axis. But what we can do is use the local axis of this object. So if I just come up here to axes and turn on my default axis just with movement, so there we go. This is the global axis. If I turn this to local axis, you can see that we now have the local axis of this object. If I hit N, that's because Blender saves the rotation. So we know that it's rotated in the Z-axis 28 point something degrees, and Blender knows that. So what I can do is, let's just turn this off because it's annoying. So what I can do is here with local axis on in my transform orientations, go into edit mode. So let's go into vertex mode, G and then Y, and because this is in our local mode, it works off our local y-axis. Same thing, hold control, click there, click, shift click M, and then at last. So we're basically doing exactly the same thing. The other thing we can do, if I turn back to global and come to this one, is that we can get Blender to work off our local axis without changing this around. If we hit G to be moving and hit Y, so this is the issue, it's now on this y-axis, the global y-axis. If we hit Y again, it locks it to the local axis. So then I can click here, click, shift click M, and then at last. Now, I haven't covered the fact that we could just do this as well with Snapbase. It's exactly the same methodology, except for once again, we press Y twice. I just don't think it's worth showing multiple times. Now this one, we can't do that because we've applied the rotation. So you can see here, Blender's not got the rotation information saved compared to this one where it does, which means if I go into vertex mode here, G and then Y and then hit Y again, it's not doing anything. It can't go into a local axis because Blender has removed that information of how much it rotated. So we're gonna have to do something else. Right, let's shift and D and then Y, and then I'm gonna have a couple more. Let's go with those, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I've got 5 techniques. So, first thing we can do is the one thing that I was asked not to do, which is fiddle around with our transform orientations. What I'm gonna do is go into edge mode, click here. So what I'm gonna do here is go to my transform orientation, and I'm gonna click new. So, plus, and because I've got the edge selected, it's going to make it on this edge. Now, what we can't see here is that Blender is now using that edge as one of the axes, and in this instance, hopefully it will be the Y. So now I can go to vertex mode, G, and then Y, and it locks it to that direction, as it did when we used our local axis, except for this doesn't have a local axis. Well, it does, but it's the same as the global one. So G, Y, control, click, click, shift click, M, and then at last. And we've got that solved because this edge is being used as our transform origin. I'm going to put that back to global. Next, this is my preferred method just because it's quick and easy to do, so it's the one that I use most often. And that is that we are going to start sliding this vertex along this edge without setting up what direction that edge is in. So if I hit G, I can move in any direction. If I hit G again, so that's G twice, I now lock to the edges coming off of this vertex. Just to do that again, you can just hit G twice really quickly, so G, G, and then this is working. Now, the issue is we need to go further than this, and every single time I come to where the vertex originally was, it then transforms to the next edge. So this is annoying. What we need to do is come to the edge that we want to be locked onto, C to clamp it, and now we can move this further. And I can hold down Control, pop to there, click, Shift click, M, and then at last, and that's worked. This is my preferred method. It's just so quick and easy to do. Now this next one is a little bit funky. For this, we're going to need an extension. So I'm going to go to Edit, Preferences, and we're going to click Get Extensions, and I'm going to type in Tiny, and we're going to install this TinyCAD Mesh Tools. You will have an install button here if you haven't already installed it. I have installed it, so it's gone. And what this means that we can do, if we go into edit mode, specifically in edge mode, is I can click and shift click both of these edges. These are the ones that I want to project and find the point where they join. And this is the method that does this in the more, well, sort of the way that we're implying. It will project these along and find the intersection point. So all we do is right click, go up to TinyCAD and click this VTX Auto. And it literally projects those edges along and finds where they would intersect. It's beautiful. Go to vertex mode, click, and shift click M, and then at last. How sweet is that? I love that function. TinyCAD is great. Do not underestimate what it can do. Now these last two methods that we're going to look at involve using a paid add-on. All of these other methods so far have been free. So I probably wouldn't advise purchasing this just for this operation, but it does have loads of other really cool tools as well, and that is using machine tools. So edit preferences, we're going to go to add-on once this is installed, and we're going to type in machine, and we want machine tools. And that will be smaller like this. Let's open it. And importantly for this first one, you need to come down and we need to have this cursor and origin manipulation pie menu selected, so that needs to be on. We're also going to have this smart vert option turned on for something else we're going to use in a second. So what we're going to do is go into edge mode, And we're going to do a similar thing to what we did in our first one, setting up a custom orientation, except for this time, we're going to do it using the cursor. I'm going to select that edge, Shift and S, this is our cursor and origin, and we can select to edge. And you'll see that importantly, the cursor is in the direction of that edge. If I just bring this back to the origin, if we were to do this another way and go mesh and then snap cursor to selected, it will snap the cursor to the same point, but it won't have rotated it around, which means this won't work this way. So Shift S to edge, and you can see that's in the correct orientation. I can change my transform orientation then to the cursor, go to vertex mode, G and then Y, because we're working off the cursor, and again, this is on that edge. Again, Control, and we've got that sorted. What I can also do with machine tools, this is why we want the smart vert on, is I can shift click here, and instead of going M and then at last, I can just press 1, and it's done that for me. So I like that, it's a bit quicker. Now for this one, we're going to use another smart vert tool, but one that rarely gets used as often. For this, I'm going to go into edge mode, and we're basically going to do the same thing as where we hit GG, and then it started moving this along. Now this is going to be a very low end version of this. We can actually do this with multiple edges at the same time, which is really cool. But for this, we only need to do it for one. So what I'm going to do is press Shift Alt and 1, and it now starts moving the vertex that we wanted, the one that was closest to our mouse. And then once again, I can hold down Control and we can snap it to that edge. Or you could do it to this edge or this face or whatever. So let's go to that edge, click, and then vertex mode, and then click, shift click, and then 1, and we've had the same result. So there we go, quite a few different methods of solving this, and it gives you the option of using whatever is the best option for you. If you are interested in machine tools, there's a link to that in the description, and it's an affiliate link which costs you no extra, but it helps the channel out. If you'd like to help out in a way that's going to cost you nothing, you could just hit the like button or comment, and that would be massively appreciated. Or if you're interested in helping out further, there's a link to the Patreon where you get these videos ad-free, a week early, and other great perks as well, such as being on the channel Discord. Have a great day, guys.